let's go to how you can help. Now, you don't have to have kids, grandkids, or anything around you to be able to help with this, let's just say, mission. If you take the mission, or if you take the idea, epidemic of childhood obesity, and you spread it out to what it is we're really all needing to do. And there's two things that everyone's needing to do to be helpful, pretty much. What do you think they are? Eat better and move more. Exactly. That's exactly right. So we're going to talk about the three things. Well, I said two. I moved it into three. Take a hike, eat a snack, grow a food. So that's what we're going to talk about. So going down, support programs in your community that encourage activity and healthy eating. Support Zest Quest. You know a child that's in a Zest Quest school, you might want to try to start a conversation with that child about Zest Quest. What did you eat today? What did you find in your cafeteria that was healthy? What did you find in your cafeteria you'd like to change? Just keep their little minds working, because their little minds are working all the time anyway. Consider being an active member of the Let's Move campaign. Again, this Let's Move, there's opportunities to get your community involved in Let's Move. And if everybody's writing to Michelle Obama to come to Pickens, South Carolina, maybe she'll come see us. Take the President's Challenge. Now, the President's Challenge has been around for years. And if you go on that website, it will take you through a lot of, it's more of an activity-based program. And you go through that program and you do various fitness things and you end up with patches and medals. And it's at presidentschallenge.org. All right, take a hike. Somebody tell me where they like to walk. Are you all walkers? Well, that's I was thinking outside areas, and I'm so glad you've brought up the inside areas. That's the way to go. It's been crazy hot. There's that nice path across from the hospital when the weather's okay, right? And the parks. And the Rock Springs Baptist Church has a trail back behind them. Now, the Swamp Rabbit Trail, do y'all know about that? Yes. Okay, that's Greenville Hospital System. And it's huge. Oh, my goodness. I've got maps, but I didn't print for everybody because, again, I didn't. You can get this stuff too. But these maps, where it starts in Traveler's Rest and goes and goes and goes and goes. And there's many places where you can access it to walk on it, but you might want to wait, I guess, till the fall. But it is called the Swamp Rabbit Trail. So I believe it is together with the Greenville Rec Department and the Greenville Hospital System, because the best map was on that greenvillerec.com. Okay, so that's one option. Now the Palmetto Trail, oh my word, who knows about that one? Do I know about that one? I didn't know about this one either. It's the whole state. Yeah, it's true. It starts in Oconee, and it ends up in, well, I don't know. That looks like it doesn't have the city on here. Maybe somewhere around Myrtle? Maybe. Okay. Yeah. So at any rate, again, if you wanted to go on a part of that, the thing about the Palmetto Trail is it tends to go over and down through Spartanburg. It's not as accessible as, say, that Swamp Rabbit Trail. I have a map to that. And then there's this wonderful place, there's this wonderful site. I was really hot when I was making these slides, so there's a few pictures of waterfalls. What I liked about this site, and if you just put South Carolina Trails in any search box, you'd come up here. And what I liked about this was it told you how many minutes it would take you to get to the prize, being the waterfall. It tells you whether you can swim there. It tells you whether it's an easy hike, and it tells you whether, some of them say very hard. Some of them say climbing straight up or something. So anyway, so at any rate, I don't know if this appeals to anybody, but I sure liked the idea when I was putting this together. It's been so hot, it sounded like a fun thing to try. So now we move on to eat a snack. And kind of going back a little bit to how kids eat these days. Kids like to eat snacks. Kids like to eat a lot of really bad snacks. Okay? Basically, they eat whole entire bags of chips and cookies, and that's a snack. And if they're doing it all day long, which that's not uncommon, then I call it grazing. Okay? So grazing is only acceptable if you have more than one stomach. Well, some of these kids are eating enough you think they must have 10 stomachs, but they, you know, they don't. So snacks are better snacks are like small meals. So they're constructed of, say, a little sandwich, maybe with some fruit. Okay, that's ideal. But, you know, honestly, if you just start getting kids in that habit, that's from the very earliest age that you can, that's sort of your best shot. But then again, I just wanted that first statement, I don't want to go too far away from it. It is a good idea to eat small, frequent meals instead of large ones, because the body doesn't really know what to do with large amounts of food. Doesn't know how to metabolize that much. That's how we tend to store it. If we eat too much, we'll tend to store it. If we eat 1 or 2 times a day, it can slow our metabolism down. I think we've probably all gotten that message. That message has been out there for a while too. So small, frequent meals tends to be the way our body can metabolize calories the best, or burn them the best. So I decided to talk a little bit more about grazing. And the thing, I work at a clinic for special needs kids, and I don't have a lot of kids that have to lose weight over there. I get a lot of these kids, they don't eat well at all. And they're little failure to thrive kids, and I need to help them gain weight. And what happens with them, if you have a kid in your house that doesn't eat well, and every time that kid turns around, you're giving him food. Here, Johnny, eat this. Oh, here, eat that. And that's sort of like grazing too. But it doesn't work for kids to gain weight because it's just a little bit of calories all throughout the day. But when you've got kids that are eating a little bit of calories throughout the day, then have great big old meals, that's how you're getting the overweight kids. And you can get overweight adults that way too. Because basically when you're grazing all day long and eating meals, you don't need that many calories. You just don't need them. You can't burn them, and if you're not being active, you've got that double whammy. Too many calories and not enough movement. So, what can we do with the kids in your life? If you've got kids or grandkids in your life, and maybe they're at the ages where you think it's too late, but is it ever too late? It's never too late. If high-fat, fast food meals become the norm for children at a young age, not only will it become all they know, it'll become all they want. And what does this little kid look like he's doing? Is he happy? No. Is he dreaming about sodas and fast food? Yeah. Yeah. He's bored with the green. I think that's something green, some meat, some potatoes. He's bored with that. You can get kids excited about school, about food. You can get kids excited about healthy food, and McGee is our testimony to that. And healthy snacks from the start help establish a vital habit for weight maintenance. You cannot expect your weight to stay where you want it to be if all you're doing is consuming snacks high in sugar, salt, and fat. It's not like you can eat just one. Okay, that was a steal. Okay, you know. But it's true. It's really hard to eat just one chip, one cookie, one bad thing. It leads to 10 bad things. They're sitting right there in front of you. It's hard to do. So that's why I say prevention isn't the best cure. And you opened up your talk about ZestQuest being a preventative program that looks at ways that you can stop bad habits from getting in there. How can you stop these things, you know, try to stop them before they start. Kids Right, EatRight.org is the American Dietetic Association putting its own kind of logo out there, which is Eat Right, with kids in front of it. And it is a great website. And it's a great one you could send kids on. If you wanted to, if you had kids in your house and they were on a computer, you can send them there because there's menus and there's recipes and there's kid-cooked meals on there. There's things that kids could kind of look at, and there's some games they can play and things that they can do. There's a lot of that stuff, not just on that website. There's a ton of stuff like that on the web. Grow a food. Who grows food? I figured I'd have some food growers. If you have a child comes to see you or in your household, sometimes you can spark an interest in food by growing it. McGee tells us, well, you start in the gardens next year, and it'll be interesting to see if that gets a kid to eat a tomato that might not ever have eaten a tomato. And so I just put a few things that are relatively easy to grow, but you all probably knew that already. But growing a food is a good way to get a kid involved. And the next step from that is what? Pull them in the kitchen and have them help you cook. And if they're going to make a mess, I mean, you're just going to expect they're going to make a mess. But if you want to pull a kid in the kitchen and have him help you put together a healthy snack, you are more likely to have that child try that snack than if you presented it to them on their own. They love that kind of ownership of putting a food together. Farmers markets. Do you guys go to the farmers market? There's one in downtown Greenville. There's one in Easley. There's one in just about every little town in the upstate. And some of them aren't always on Saturday mornings. There's one in Simpsonville on Thursday afternoons of all the times and places. So that information is also available. But the easier ones for you all, perhaps, where do y'all live? Do y'all live around here in Easley? So the one in Easley, has anyone been to the Easley Farmers Market? Is it good? Is it a good farmers market? Oh, good. The Greenville market has a lot of variety as well. Okay, I am giving away a tomato thing. Okay? It's a complete upside down tomato grow kit. Ah, yes, yes. If you can get a child to participate with you, that's good. If you're not into upside down plants, that's okay too. All right, who has a birthday in August, September, or October? Aha. Okay, keep your hand up. Who was born west of the Mississippi? Nobody? Nobody was born west of the Mississippi? You? Were you born west of the Mississippi? Oh. All right, here you go. Would you like to grow an upside down tomato plant?
Can I take it to my kids?
Yes, take it to your kids. There you go. Very good. All righty. I've never grown one. Has anyone ever grown one of these upside down tomato plants? You see them all over the place. No, I like mine coming up from the ground. But if you don't have the space, you can give that a try, right? This is my parting slide. All right? This guy's saying, ha ha, look at the new kid. His body mass index is easily under the 95th percentile. See, we know what that means, right? He probably does sports and stuff instead of watching TV and playing video games. I bet when he looks down, he can see his feet. Weirdo. You could fit 2 of him in my jeans, idiot. And then down here it says, fat kids, the new norm. And I said, is this humorous? I can't decide. It's not really, is it? No.